tools, the skills that we have gained in the last day or so, in the context of the larger picture. What the country stands for, the socio-economic transformation of the society as a whole, and not just our workplaces with tables and chairs and desktops. Thank you very much.
Know a little bit more. But you used, in one of your sentences in the middle of your presentation, you used the words fun and productive way of working and knowledge sharing in one sentence. And I talked with some of the people here in groups, and I asked them what are the barriers here in Bangladesh in order to adapt to social media, adapt to the way of new way of communicating. And then one of the barriers is the policy, is that organizations are blocking the fun way of networking. How do you look at that? Because you are close nearby governmental institutions. Probably you also run into that problem often. And what is your thought about that?
Important question. I would put it in different contexts. One is the government institutions, extremely hierarchical. So when you talk about social networking as a way of working, it's frowned upon. It's not understood. I mean, let me start by saying that policymakers don't understand how social networking, which is something that the young people do for fun, to waste time, can be utilized in a workplace. So the mindset there and the lack of understanding is the biggest bottleneck there. So that's the government institutions. Private institutions using desks and chairs, I think they are more open to using social networking as long as it actually contributes to the bottom line. And somebody needs to make that connection. And more progressive, many telecom operators right now, and I've visited many. Even last night I was actually in one of the operators' offices, and they have elevated telephones. So they don't have any telephones. They use Skype and they use headphones. So again, these are small numbers, but again, to use social networking as a tool for increased productivity, and also productivity that's associated with fun, I think more policy level workshops of this kind need to happen. This is not a policy level workshop. This is more of a practitioner level workshop. So I think we need to have workshops of this kind at the policy making level. And the third context I'd like to talk about is the context of the larger society, larger economy. And that may be the area where you can actually penetrate social networking the farthest, because nothing exists. So if you talk about the farmers, if you talk about the students and teachers across the country, as long as it's tied to what they do, as long as it benefits them, then social networking actually will catch on like wildfire.
So what I understand is that the takeaway message for the people who have attended.
So negotiation only works when you understand the other side's perspective. So why do they not see it as the way you see it? I think that's very important. So you can promote it amongst your peers. I think they'll be, if they're young, they'll probably gravitate towards it very quickly. But again, not to make the distinction between the young and the old, but I think what happens with age is that you gain a lot of experience and you get set in your ways that you've done things in the last 20 years or 30 years in a certain way. And you probably feel very comfortable and confident that that's the way that things are most efficient. And that's where the communication barrier happens. I think, again, those can be broken down as well.
Other questions from the
things, and your program is fantastic program, but the problem is how much you can implement this, how quickly it is possible for you. You have mentioned in your some of your slides that you are working on government transparency, also right to information in all sectors. I am also getting information in my mobile telephone that right to information is your right. Please ask the information to elsewhere to get the information, either in from the government office or from the private office. But it is still very much difficult to get information, and At the same time, when I'm clicking to get information from some websites, the websites I see is backdated. I'm referring one of my friends, he was telling me yesterday that after clicking the website of the government passport office, he downloaded a form, but after printing the form, he went to the office and produced it to them. They said, we have changed the form. So he asked, why you did not put it into the website? They said, sorry, it's not updated. And then again, he took the form, a copy of the form from that office, and filled it out, went to them again. It was for his son, he's a kid, small, so they say that you must bring the boy with you, because we have to take his photograph and maybe thumb impression also. So he said, you did not put any information into the website regarding this. So how can you monitor this? Who are the people who monitor these sorts of problems, and how frequently are you monitoring this, and how can you overcome? This is my question. Thank you.
It's that it's not being updated in a regular fashion. And the reason, there is a very simple reason for that. The simple reason is that ICT is not seen as a core function of the government today. It's not seen as a service delivery function. It's seen as a back office thing. It's seen as something that you use to type letters. Okay, so that's a uphill task that we have to change the mindset, also change some of the policies. So that's why these things happen. So they have updated the forms on the desks. If you actually go to get the forms, you probably won't find any desk where they have the old forms still. You'll get the new form. But when they send that new form to all these desks which are handing out these forms, why did they not update the website at the same time? Because it's not linked. It's basically nobody in their job function is not linked. It's somebody else in the back office MIS who's supposed to update. ICT focal point at the level of a joint secretary or an additional secretary. So somebody higher. And we've been trying this out for the last year or so with mixed results. Some of these people are more enthusiastic. They take this ICT phenomena more seriously than others. And recently what we have done is, previously the ICT ministry was involved in this coordination. But recently what we realized that the cabinet division has to be involved in this, because cabinet division has done a much better job in terms of probably using the right carrots and sticks to impose things. For instance, use of Unicode Bangla. We've had Unicode Bangla for the last 3 years or so. But again, other than that citizens database, most government organizations were not using it. Now, cabinet division got involved last year, and a lot more change has happened since then. So basically a combination of cabinet division and these focal points that we have in the ministries. And now we are also trying to identify focal points in every directorate, like passport and youth directorate, and every directorate will have one focal point. So again, that's an orchestration of a few hundred people across the government with the cabinet division at the helm. That's happening. Again, you'll probably see results. The right to information is, again, a tool, a legal tool, but again, not enough awareness within the policymakers, within the practitioners has happened to make that into a practice. So that will happen. Again, these are all new things. These are all things that have happened in the last few years. And you will start to see results of that soon. There is also, for the forms, there is also a site called forms.gov.bd, which should have most of the updated forms. So what that site tries to do is to collect up-to-date forms into it in one place. It has links. It also has some forms in the repository. So that's something that you could probably take a look at as far as forms are concerned. But as far as practices are concerned, it's going to take some time after that.
So help each other. We need to open up our mind. So now I have got the result from here, because last year I heard one of my friends, she was my hostel mate. She said she is going to join workshop to produce actually what is it called? The prism showing you are saying ICT classrooms. The multimedia productions on biology textbooks. I couldn't understand actually what is going to be prepared. So now I could see actually what is the result. I am proud because I was the person who actually we two friends we couldn't got actually win the actually what is the called BCS job. We just refused from the Viper board, and she was so much upset that she wanted to be a teacher in a college. And at that time, I inspired her. You're a very brilliant student. You should try to get at high school level. And from there, it was not so much first time. Only 5 years ago, we were trying. Now I can see actually what is the result is happening. If you want to do something, then you are able to make a change, and it is just a beginning. I can say from my previous question, who was asking you, just I want to give some supplement to here. It has just started, but we need a lot of people who can use these technologies. The example is in this room. In this kind of workshop, it didn't happen before in Bangladesh. So I am very impressed. But I have actually a question: are all these slides available for us? It is very much helpful for us. So thank you, Anil Bhai. We are very much grateful for it.
Will this be available to everybody? These content.
Can I have these slides?
Yeah.
And today morning also. And as per my experience, 10 years back when I learned how to handle computers in Dhaka Press Club, and there was the same sort of arrangement for only 1 or 2 hours. That's sponsored by UNDP. So they were free computers, and they say that you can come down, you can open your account, you can test the computers. So we were lucky that we tested, we got to know. So in future, we appreciate this kind of arrangement can be done more and more. So the 64 districts, a lot of boys there. Their school, those are completed schools, colleges. Even they don't know how to handle a computer, how to send an email, how to chit-chat, how to exchange views like bloggers. So what I learned, very lately, I was in Istanbul, it's in Turkish, city in Istanbul, and I've been to Cyprus. So what I've seen, difference between Cyprus and Istanbul, Turkey. In Cyprus, lack of facilities for the students and the youngsters, but in Turkey, it's very open. So I request the organizer again that this kind of meetings, sharings, workshop can be done more frequently so that we can share so many things in a very right manners. Maybe our rights, injustice to youth society, injustice to citizens. You mentioned that right of information to the government, but you don't know the government officials in other districts and other places, the bureaucrats. They're controlling so many informations. They don't want people to know. They don't want people to learn. They don't want people to apply. So I apologize if anything is wrong from my side. But what I've seen in my experience, that your arrangement, your sponsoring this kind of events is very much having positive aspects in our mind, in our society. Maybe when I go back, I explain, I share with my friends. But I will request again and again that I want you to arrange this kind of meetings more and more, and involve more students, more youngsters, so that we can spread the message. And of course, Bangladesh will become not the developed country, but one of the, ideologically developed, so that we can share, we can earn, we can learn. And maybe, I'm sorry, I'm not happy to give a nice, talkings, anything wrong, forgive me, but I want more chances to be around, and for other, citizens of other districts also environment, if you can arrange something more for others also. Thank you very much, and I will get in touch.
Then I will say thank you very much again, and it was really interesting to hear how you are enhancing the access of information to the Bangladesh people, and I hope you inspire the others here, and that they will inspire other people again in their community. Yeah. And I think this final keynote speech that we have heard is a good takeaway message for all of you to go home and hopefully to be more encouraged to look at the internet, to look at the tools and to experiment with it, and give it time. Give it time. If you ask Anya, Michel, or other people here in the room who are already extensive social media users, you will ask them the question, did you like it from the first time? Then they will say probably no, because it's a time of experimenting, of creating your network, and after a while you think, this is the reason why people are talking about it. This is the reason why this can improve a bottom-up conversation rather than from the top down. So I would like to thank you for your attention for these 2 days. We will keep in touch. It's not that it's now closed and we don't talk to each other anymore. What I already said to you and to everybody, we will share the slides to all the participants on the website via email, and you can always contact us when you have questions about facilitating a workshop for focus, for example, or collaborating on other issues than that I mentioned.